As you know, for the past few months, we haven't had a preacher since Gary moved to Oklahoma. And we have advertised for a minister to work with our congregation. And some weeks ago, Brother Zeke Banda expressed an interest in working with us. After some conversations with him on the phone, we asked him if he would come to California, visit with us, bring his wife. Zeke and Rosa have been with us for 3 or 4 days, and we have tried to arrange a situation where we not only ask him questions, but he gets a chance to see us, who we are. We thought it important that he understand us as well as we understand him. So Zeke has met with our senior citizens, he met with our youth. Last night he had dinner with all the deacons and elders and their wives, and we had a conversation for a couple of hours in which we shared with each other. Zeke is going to speak with us this morning. He's all the way from Texas with his wife, Rosa. We appreciate you being with us, Zeke. So I'm going to turn it over to Brother Banda.
Well, good morning, church. I tell you, it's been a great week getting to know the church here in Madera. Great people. I can honestly say that after getting to know some of you, I can honestly say that it will be a privilege and an honor to serve with you here and there. Well, our message this morning is entitled A New Creation. I'm a new creation. But I want to ask you a question. I think it's a very important question. And the question is this. Does anyone here like cartoons? Let me turn this on. Anybody here like cartoons? Of course, all the kids say yes. And some of you grown-ups, come on, admit it. Well, let me tell you, when I was growing up, one of my favorite cartoons was Tom and Jerry. It was Mickey Mouse, the Mickey Mouse show. It was a Bugs Bunny show, believe it or not. And it was also Popeye, the Sailor Man. And so, yeah, I'm old, but not too old, okay? Well, if you recall, Popeye had this famous saying, I am what I am, and that's all that I am. And he would often say that phrase whenever he seemed frustrated, or whenever he didn't know what to do, he would say that phrase. And also when he was incapable of doing something, he would often say that phrase, I am what I am, and that's all that I am. Evidently, it tells me something. It tells me that that was a way for him to deal with his inadequacies or with his shortcomings. But let me tell you something. I am what I am does not offer much room for growth. Do you believe that? It does not offer much room for change. It is someone saying, this is who I am, and so don't have any high hopes for me. This is who I am, and so don't expect too much from me. Why? Because I am what I am, and that's all that I am. Pretty sad, right? But you know what's even more sad? That not only do you find that type of mentality in cartoons, but also in real life. In one way or another, if we're honest, I believe that all of us have experienced the Popeye mentality. We have believed a lie. We have believed that there is no hope for our weaknesses. There is no hope for our shortcomings. Or we have sometimes said, this is who I am. Why? Because it is a way for us to conceal our weaknesses, to conceal our shortcomings. We have accepted who we are, and sometimes we're not willing to change at all. And so for many people, that's their identity. That's who they are, and they have accepted that as something that is written in stone. And so we have believed that there is no hope for us to change. We have believed that there is no way we can break that bad habit. We have believed that there is no way that we can overcome those sinful attitudes or those sinful ways of doing certain things or certain sins in our lives. That's the reality that many people have. But this morning, I want to tell you something. There's another reality. Another reality that is much more than the old reality that we have accepted. That reality is the Christ who lives in me reality. It is the spiritual reality. It is that reality where things can be different. It is a reality where there is hope. There is power to change. Do you agree? There is a way that we can be changed, that we can be saved, that we can be transformed, and there is hope in that reality. We can be set free from those negative attitudes. We can be set free from the bondage of certain sins in our lives. We can get rid of those bad habits. Why? Because in that reality, we serve an awesome God. We serve a powerful God who is able to transform our lives and change them the way He wants them in His image. And so He can help us become more than who we are. In that reality, we can be people of great dreams and of great accomplishments. Do you believe that? Because that's very important. You have to believe that. You have to believe that you can become a new creation in Christ. You have to believe that God does not only want to save you from sin or from hell, but He wants to make you a new person with a new vision, with a new attitude, with a new way of being. And so the Apostle Paul, he tells us there in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 17, it says, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new what? New creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come. Oh my goodness. When Paul talks about the word therefore, he's referring to verses 14 and 16, where Paul is telling us that all believers who have died in Christ no longer live for themselves. Now, they're no longer living the life from the past, but now their lives are in Christ. No longer are they living worldly lives, but now they are living spiritual lives. And so our death is the old sinful nature which was nailed on that cross. It was buried with Jesus, and now it has been resurrected with Jesus so that we can live in newness of life. And so that new person that Paul is talking about is what Paul refers to as a new creation. And so this tells me that there is hope for everyone. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what some of the things that you have been told who you are. Because we live in a world where people label us, right? We're constantly being labeled. That's not who we have to be. In Jesus, we can become a new person. Only through God, amazing work, amazing creative work, can we be a different person. But we have to follow Jesus. We have to let Jesus come into our lives and help us through our lives. I like what Paul also mentions in Ephesians chapter 2, verses 10, where he states, "For we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." And the word workmanship in the Greek is such a beautiful word because the Greek word is poema. Does that sound familiar? Poema, that's where we get the word poem or poet. And so try to imagine, go back to high school, go back to when you learned what a poem was. A poem has rhyme. A poem is a beautiful, it's intense and has beautiful language. It has rhyme and design. It has imagination. There's emotion and sentiment in poems. There's inspiration and there's beauty. And so what this is telling us, that once God takes control of your life, oh my goodness, you can become an inspiration to other people. You can become this beautiful person that is called to do awesome works, good works. And so God is able to change us in so many positive ways. We don't have to live forever with the Popeye mentality. Okay? We don't have to. There's hope. We can be more. I remember in the Old Testament a character who I believe had the Popeye mentality. And this man was called by God to do great things. God called him to go into his people and get him out of slavery so that they can become a new community of believers. And so he wanted Moses to go to Pharaoh and to tell his people to let him go. You know the story, right? But you know what? For Moses, it seemed that the timing was wrong. Why? Because, many years ago, maybe he would have accepted that deal right away. Because many years ago, he was a young man, right? Many years ago, he had this great education that the civilization of Egypt could offer. 40 years ago, Moses had powerful connections. But now Moses is living a different reality. Okay? He was an unknown shepherd in a forgotten desert. He was a man rejected by his own people. He was a man who he knew that the Egyptians wanted to kill him. Okay? He had accepted that reality. He didn't pretend to be anybody else. And so when God calls Moses, Moses responds with a Popeye mentality, okay? As we see in Exodus chapter 3, verses 11. Look, but Moses said to God, "Who am I, that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" In other words, God, I'm a nobody, right? I'm a nobody. That's the reality that Moses is living. I don't have what it takes, God. I don't have the influence. I don't have what it takes. And he continues with his excuses in Exodus chapter 3, verses 13. Moses said to God, "Suppose I go to the Israelites and say to them, 'The God of your fathers has sent me to you.' And they ask me, 'What is his name?' Then what should I tell them?" In other words, God, I don't have all the answers. Okay? I'm just Moses. And then in Exodus chapter 4, verses 1, it says, Moses answered, "What if they do not believe me, or listen to me, or say, 'The Lord did not appear to you'?" In other words, what if they reject me? Or what if they ignore me? Or what if they don't pay attention to me? God, I just don't have the credibility. You need to call somebody else. And then in verse 10, he says, Moses said to the Lord, "Oh, pardon your servant, Lord. I have never been eloquent, neither in the past, nor since you have spoken to your servant, I am slow to speech and tongue. The Popeye mentality, right? I am what I am, Lord. I am what I am. I'm not capable. I'm not a good communicator. I've been living in disappointment. I am what I am. Don't expect more, God, from me. And Moses just kept on and on and on offering excuses. And the question is, can you relate to that? You know, I can. I can relate to that. Why? Because I know exactly what Moses felt. I know what it is to feel incapable, to feel inadequate, okay? I know what it feels to feel insecure and timid and fearful. Why? Because I've been there, done that. I know what exactly what it feels to say, this is who I am. You know, Lord. This is who I am, and that's all you're getting. And so, but let me tell you something. If I'm here, it is because of the grace of God. It is because of the grace of God. God has taken me places I never imagined I could go. God has broken the chains of my life. Because why? Because I was a sinner before I became a new creation, let me tell you. And I wasn't just a small sinner, you know. It's just, once in a while, right? I was a sinner. But now, I'm a new creation because of His grace. And so the chains that were holding me back so many times are broken. Chains that wouldn't let me say, you know what? Yes, God, because when God was calling me to the ministry, I tell you the truth, many times I said, God, not me. Call somebody else. And the same excuses that Moses offered, I offered them as well. So I know what it is. I know what it feels to have the Popeye mentality. And so I was so tired with these chains that I couldn't say, yes, God, I will follow you. Yes, God, I will obey you. Yes, God, I will go wherever you want me to go. And so the question is, how did God accomplish this miracle then? How is God able to do this in my life? Well, I believe what God told Moses. I believe what God told me and continues to tell me to do. I believe what God tells every person when He calls him into service. And what is that? Exodus chapter 3, verses 12. And God said, I will be with you. I believe that. You know what that is called? That is called faith. When you know that God will be with you every step of the way. When you know the presence of God is with you, and He's helping you, and He's giving you the things that you need to accomplish His will. And so I will be with you. And so it was like God was telling me, Zeke, I know who you are. I know your weaknesses. I know your shortcomings. I know your fears. I know your disappointments. But that is another reality. Because my reality is different. Your guilt and your inadequacies are no longer the ultimate truth about you. I know who you are, but you are not yet what you will be. Why? Because I will be with you. And so, when I believed that, that's when I began to see all these powerful changes in my life. When Moses believed that, that's when Moses answered the calling, right? When Moses believed that, that's when God took him to places he never imagined, you know. That's when he was able to accomplish God's will. You know, isn't that what the gospel of Jesus Christ is all about? Where we are saved, we are transformed, and we are given a new life. That's the good news of the gospel, people. The good news is that we don't have to be living in sin no more. We can become a new creation. And so I am what I am is not good enough, church. As the Power Rangers would say, it's morphin' time, right? It's time to change. It's time to believe. It's time to have faith, you know. It's time to change. It's time to stop saying I am what I am and start saying I will be what God wants me to become. It's time to say I will be what God wants me to be. What God wants me to do. I will let Him come into my life. I will let Him shape me, mold me, renovate me, transform me into a new creation. That's the time, guys. It's time to say that. It's time to say, God, I want a new life. I want to be a new person. I want to have a renewed mind, a renewed heart, a new mentality, a new perspective, new hope, and new love. It's time to believe that we can do all things with Christ that strengthens me, right? It's time to say and believe that we are more than conquerors, amen? It's time to believe and say that God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. It's time to say and believe that we can be blessed if we just believe. And so this morning, maybe you're struggling with some wrong attitude. Maybe you're struggling with bitterness. Maybe you're struggling with resentment. Maybe you are struggling with envy. Or with any kind of bad habit, and you feel that you cannot let go. Why? Because I am what I am, right? Let me remind you, there is hope. There is hope in Christ, who is capable of saving you and breaking those binds that bind you. And if someone is ready to obey the gospel, let me tell you this morning, you can become a new creation. And you can start living the life God wants you to live. And if you believe that, as we stand, let us sing this song. And if you're here ready to change, come as we pray. We'll pray for you.
So far from His presence, come today. Hear His loving voice calling still, calling now for thee. Oh, weary prodigal, come, calling now for thee. Oh, weary prodigal, come. Patient, loving, and tenderly still the Father pleads.